women in sight. AI inappropriate jokes they make. Wild takes a break. Raw political rants on tape. West Coast vibes, they reshape. Let the fun hear them say. Every episode a new way to make you laugh and sway. Podcast keeps the blues at bay.
Welcome back to the Death-a-thon.
So we still got to write Tim's song, but I want the whole him selling Sibian like down on his luck gal, except to like death metal.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
I don't hate that. I haven't messed with the AI music in a minute, but I got emailed that they did some updates and you can change lyrics now.
Oh boy.
So
if you find a real banger, you can adjust it, huh?
Right. I think I don't want to waste an entire day on AI music.
Why not?
Well, as much as I like to fool everybody to the contrary, I am an adult with a job and a family.
It's amazing how much shit comes from you and just like when you're alone. But yeah, Matt's a fucking cowboy. He's a fucking cowboy. He works.
I do a lot of multitasking at times, but and by multitasking, I'm making shitty AI songs for my shitty podcast while I'm supposed to be working.
Well, we were we'll act like we weren't just talking about this, but I was just commenting that the other day. I was joking with my wife, and she didn't get it. She couldn't get why I was so excited. But like literally, when you're married, you can touch a boob anytime you want, even
amazing.
in public.
Yeah.
But like we've come a long way from striking out at the bar, coming home at 2 a.m. and being pantsless in front of your computer nearly 5 minutes after you hit that door.
Well, and we didn't grow up in the 70s and the 80s where you could just grab a boob at any time and not much was going to happen to you.
Is this America? I thought this was America.
I guess we could have grabbed a boob at any time. Consequences undetermined, though.
Unless you're a gay dude.
A gay dude, yeah.
Always.
Yeah, that is a constant for sure.
He's grabbing tits left and right, and none of the straight girls batted an eye.
Now he's got 3 kids.
Wait, what?
No, I'm just teasing.
Whoa!
That'd be one of the greatest cons of all time, though.
Did you have the gayest friend we've ever had as having 3 kids on your bingo card? I didn't.
Well, speaking of that on your bingo card, did you have the gayest senator of all time using his platform in the middle of a hurricane in his home state to grift more for Israel? Did you have that?
I did it. What governor do you speak of?
Senator.
Oh, Senator
Ladybugs.
Oh, Senator Ladybugs.
Yeah.
I thought you were going Jared Polis there, but then I realized that we don't have any oceans in Colorado, so.
Yeah. Well, I think he is literally the gayest as far as homosexuality goes.
That's right. We're 90s kids.
Right.
Our definition of that word is totally different.
But by definition, Jared Polis is a gay fag.
Just had to go.
Well, yeah.
And that word also has a different definition from our generation as well, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's a biker?
he's definitely a biker. I mean, and not a vroom vroom biker. He'd be a cyclist, which are somehow even worse.
No. Yeah, I did see who was the jackass who's signing bombs? Like, we're not trying to get into World War, but we're signing bombs.
Ben Shapiro, or not Ben Shapiro, Josh Shapiro. So I got the Lindsey Graham deal queued up. So I'll let me pop it up on the screen. We'll see what you think about Senator Graham.
Also tonight, can we dive into the latest Kamala? Because there's a ton. But
Oh
the
yeah.
one I was particularly interested in was when she was asking, people were asking her questions about the hurricane, and her staff's like literally feeding her questions to talk to the panel. Like she doesn't have any questions, but her staff certainly does.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So this is Lindsey Graham on Sean Hannity the other day.
You can thank Donald Trump and Elon Musk for that.
You know, I've been going all over South Carolina like most people. I hadn't slept much. But look what's going on in Israel. Our friends in Israel surrounded by
people. Oh, not worry about our citizens in my state.
A second Holocaust in the making. And Biden says be proportional. What is the proportional response to people who want to kill you and your family? God. They're running out of ammunition in Israel. We have to help.
Did you hear Sean Hannity?
Keep over there from coming here.
God.
You can thank Donald.
Because, you know, Sean Hannity's made that same exact argument in a different scenario before, but
correct.
And his home state was getting butt fucked by the hurricane. His home state of South Carolina obviously didn't get it as bad as North Carolina, but still like pretty large levels of devastation there. But we gotta keep just shipping bombs to Israel. It's like, at one point I might have agreed with him a little bit more than I do now.
If there hadn't been, like, as Matt knows, I'm a little bit more hawkish than Matt. I've toned down quite a bit. But if we hadn't just like given trillions away to name anybody, I'd probably be more on board with what's going on. But like literally, you're just giving it away outside the country,
or you're giving it away inside the country to illegal migrants. Like how many federal dollars went to housing migrants and shipping them all over the fucking country when they're not supposed to be here in the first place?
What's the major goal of representatives? Like, what's their number one thing they should do?
Represent their constituents.
Take care of their constituents.
Yeah.
Do these guys know that, like, kind of shitting on your viewers here?
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. And then so there's like that North Carolina thing is in those small towns in the mountains, it sounds like it's like fucking apocalyptic up there. And the FEMA response has been almost nothing. It's all been private citizens. And
quit passing conspiracy theories around that.
Right. And then our vaunted, also gay fag Secretary of Transportation is like, hey, you need to stop flying drones so we can do our job. But you're not doing your job, and the people are using those drones to map out roads so they can get relief and aid to people. Something that FEMA should be doing, but you're not. So
you mean Mayor Machado?
Yeah, Mayor Machado. See, I take offense to that because while I can see why people don't like Manny Machado. Manny Machado is a good fucking baseball player.
What was the quote you said last night? It was so accurate. I'm so proud of you.
I said I think he at least has skills, right?
No, you said, what'd you say? Hold on. Gosh damn it, where? Something about. Let me find it.
Was it in the group?
No, it was in me and you.
Oh.
You said something. Oh yeah, I'm fully on the he's on my team, so I see nothing wrong about him.
That's actually very true. That's very true. He's on my team, who are on the verge of knocking the Dodgers out of the playoffs once again. And so
$1 billion.
I know. I'm all on the Shohei having a fucking magic series and still not being enough for the Dodgers to not collapse. I'm hoping that Shohei just like continues to do his thing, and then the Dodgers lose to the Padres.
No, fuck the pot. Fuck man, even which is weird. I like Profar.
Profar is awesome.
I love Kim from Korea.
Yeah.
Cronenworth, another polar bear that's just a husky kid swinging as hard as he can in case he hits it. You know? But just Manny Machado is such a fucking douche.
I can't argue with that. But goddamn, the guy's good though. And he plays the head games better than most when it comes to baseball. He gets inside their head a lot.
I just want him. Who's the Cleveland Indians second baseman that fucking knocked out Anderson?
Oh fuck! What was that?
I don't know. I want that to be the World Series and him to just fucking wipe the floor with Machado. And Machado's like 2 heads taller. So
yeah.
I want to see it happen. Big haymaker. Fucking
Dodgers kind of bounced back tonight. It's only the 5th, but they're up 5-0.
I told my coworker 7-2 be the score tonight. Manny Machado gets beamed and then goes 0 for 3.
That could be. He was 2 for 4 last night. It cracked me up. I knew when I texted that last night it was going to set you off.
Oh,
I could see it coming, and I was talking with Jake too, and I was like, and he's like, yeah, Aaron called me like immediately after that. I was like, I knew it was going to set him off.
Of all the people I would think the same way as me, because let's be honest, Manny Machado, he acts like one of those spoiled rich white kids on the super baseball team that you play that always does the like ticky-tack stuff, like cleats ya or steps on your foot or throws the ball around. But like when you get in his face, he doesn't fucking say shit. It's just chicken shit ass, bitch ass. And I thought Jake, of all people, I'd be like, okay, Jake's had. He's like, no, you're soft. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. He's like, fucking A.
No. So anyway, for the listener, the couple of listeners still following us, I knew, knowing how Aaron feels about Manny Machado, I just said, I hope Manny goes for 4 for 4 with 5 RBIs just to eat a little bit of Aaron's soul, just for that.
Little background. Manny Machado numerous times has cleated people at second when not necessary. The biggest one was he had some little chopper to third, and Josh Donaldson, who is a shit talker in his own right. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But he tags him, and not like soft, but not hard, but good enough that the umpire can see it. And fucking Manny Machado takes it so personal and jaws at him that the next at bat, he swings at a pitch and intentionally throws the bat towards Donaldson. And then when they start barking at him, he's like, what? No, that was an accident. And then what set me off was, this is what pissed me off about Jake, was when you take infield, I've never, ever seen anybody toss the ball even into the player's dugout, let alone as hard as he tossed it. It's just bitch-made shit. It's just fucking bitch-made shit.
Yes, it is, but it makes the Dodgers look even bitchier that they're complaining about it.
Oh, yeah, they should. I'll give you that. They should have complained.
It's a total California bitch fest, is what it is.
They should have fucking hit him, and then that's the end of it. Just fucking plunk him.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah, because and there was the controversy that that he plunked Tatis instead of Manny, which is also kind of bitch made if that's true. But
So
I
do
don't
you know
think-
the situation?
Yeah, I was listening to it, and it doesn't make much sense. However, Tatis has owned that motherfucker. So
I mean, it was an 0-1 count,
yeah,
and they were
and a
down by
2-run
2.
game. Yeah.
Like, no fucking way. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I find it highly unlikely unless just Manny did just get that much under their skin. Which, if that's the case, it's classic California bitch made shit.
It is.
And and that's the problem with California in general. Is like all of their stuff is really bitchy, but that's a fun fucking series to watch. That's by far the funnest series of the division series going on.
It's
is
bitchy yet bitchin'.
Oh yeah, dude. Fernando Tatis Jr. is on a goddamn mission. Everybody, well, Padres have all been quiet tonight, but that dude 4 home runs in 5 games, and not just kind of home runs. They're home runs in Petco and Dodger Stadium. They're legit.
I also like how the Padres have become like the underdog.
When
Like-
they only spent $250 million.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, the Dodgers are so fucking far out there that it's
I know.
fuck.
It's like if they don't sweep the playoffs and the World Series, it's kind of a letdown for the amount of money they've spent.
It's straight up trying to think of what was that John Travolta movie that was so expensive but it flopped, and I love it because it was funded by Scientology.
Was it Swordfish?
No, when he was like an alien, and it's one of the worst movies.
Oh, I don't.
It was based off of Scientology stuff.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Well,
please.
well, while you're looking for that, I think I've got your Kamabla video pulled up. And
Battlefield Earth.
oh, that's right, Battlefield Earth.
Flood.
Okay, so this is on C-SPAN, and we got Kamala Mayorkas, Secretary of Homeland Security Secretary,
Allegedly.
and then we have Administrator Deanne Criswell of FEMA, Admiral Linda Fagan, head of the Coast Guard. Why do we have women as head of military organizations? I know that sounds very chauvinistic and whatnot, but according to history, men fight the wars. So you might want to have a man in charge of the organization and that would be fighting said wars.
On this subject, I showed my wife this Babylon Bee, and it said apparently there was the first woman hockey coach, and it said something to the extent like first female hockey coach has first game and loss, and it said she was just glad that everybody scored a touchdown.
Oh, that's funny. All right, so let's see what these gems have to say.
Flood. We really got to watch those areas and those communities. So it takes quite a while for that water to drain.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Ken, I have a question for you. You mentioned words matter, and
Go to the start.
I know there's.
Listen real carefully.
Flood. We really got to watch those areas and those communities. So it takes quite a while for that water to drain.
Yeah, so they're feeding her questions there.
Yeah, she's covering her mouth so they don't see it.
Yeah, that's all about
those areas and those communities. So it takes quite a while.
Huh.
Well, I thought it was more extensive than that. That was kind of a letdown.
This one was interesting.
President, Governor DeSantis, NBC is reporting Governor DeSantis is ignoring your calls on hurricanes, resources, and help. How does that hurt the situation here?
Moments of crisis, if nothing else, should really be the moment that anyone who calls themselves a leader.
She's going full Ricky Bobby. Not
I don't
sure
know
what to do with my hands.
Car ran
Like
real
I'm on a
good.
spaceship.
Political gains at this moment in these crisis situations. These are the height of emergency situations. It's just utterly irresponsible, and it is selfish, and it is about political gamesmanship instead of doing the job that you took an oath to do. Which is
And what do you have to say, Joe?
So she's pissed off that he didn't take her call. Let me find DeSantis his response.
Well, hey, the Joe Biden one's even better.
Okay.
Is he trying to sabotage? This is my first
he
question.
might be.
The governor of Florida has been cooperative. He said he's gotten all that he needs. I talked to him again yesterday, and I said, I said, no, you're doing a great job. It's all being done well. We thank you for it.
Aid in the
And I
back.
literally
She's
gave my
just burning a
personal phone
hole
number.
through his head.
So I don't know. There was a rough start in some places, but every governor from Florida to North Carolina has been fully cooperative and supportive and acknowledged what this team is doing. And they're doing an incredible job. But we got a lot more to do.
So, okay, two things. Is he either sabotaging or is he like saying, fuck it, I'm just going to tell the truth now? Is that, which one is it?
I mean, it's a fine time to finally decide to tell the truth, but I mean, I guess
How many days?
yeah, I guess better late than never, obviously, but they did just shove him off a cliff though, so he can't be real happy about it.
Have you noticed how much they've even just kept him secluded? I wonder if he's taking naps or they're just not going to put him out there because he's just going to try to burn things out.
Yeah, so I just want to the hell.
The governor of Florida has been cooperative. He said he's gotten all that he needs.
Quality producer.
Quality.
I talked to him again yesterday, and I said, well,
yeah, so I want to know how with it he really is. First of all, because he's still the goddamn president of the United States.
It could be that too. Like maybe not with it.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm Republican now.
And maybe like, yeah. So I don't know. Is he just in full dementia? Which is alarming because I mean, it's been alarming for 4 years now, but, yeah, now we're really knocking pretty hard on the door of World War III. And can anybody tell me who's actually in charge? Because it's not the prez or the VP.
And this ain't FDR, who was like hardened war leader for what, 3.5, 4 years before he croaked. Like
No.
We're at the beginning here.
Yeah, and we got one dude that can't remember where he's at most of the time. And then the other person got there because he boxed himself into a corner and said he was going to pick a woman of color for vice president. And he just, shit, she called me racist. I bet that'd look good if I made her VP.
Doesn't count if I hire you. Doesn't count.
Yeah. And, but you're supposed to acknowledge the powerful woman that she is, even though I can't see anything impressive about her at all. They had somebody impressive running for president on the Democrat ticket one time, and then they pushed her out of the party too because she was like, hey, maybe we shouldn't just start wars all the time everywhere.
Matt, she came from the middle class. Shut the fuck up.
She come from a middle class background.
Yeah.
She made collard greens in the bathtub You fucking racist.
Dude, I've seen plenty of people who grew up in the middle class and they're fucking assholes. Like,
yeah,
like,
well,
I like how that's the qualifier. Like, no, there's a lot of dumb assholes in every socioeconomic situation.
okay, so middle class, rural Colorado is a big difference from middle class Berkeley, California.
Yes.
Middle class Berkeley just means you're a rich socialist or communist. Like that's that's what that means. We're for the plight of the working man. Not sure what those people do. We don't interact with them, but we're for their plight.
Matt, just keep on telling yourself your taxes go to pay me.
Fuck.
Just tell yourself that.
You know, if that was the least of my worries about where my taxpayer money went, I'd be fine.
Right?
I'd be fine.
The good old 90s.
Just like, dude, we sent, and I know people to this will be a Rob argument. Well, they allocated this money through Congress and beep-a-deep-a-doop. Okay, yeah, but we allocated close to $500 billion in foreign wars over the last couple of years, and yet our FEMA budget is running dry. Our own citizens are flooding and drowning, but we gotta rush more bombs to Ukraine and Israel first.
Yeah, I'm not worried that.
I'm not worried. Well, it seems like Israel might be a little bit worried because they're pushing pretty hard. And
man, they're going fucking balls. You know what? They must have good intelligence that I'm sorry. They must have good intelligence that Hezbollah and all them are just planning some shit, and they're just moving on them first.
There's that, and but they're also, that cabinet they have is pretty radical.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like a Putin and Russia situation. Like, Netanyahu is a real piece of shit. Like, there's good evidence to suggest that he kind of let the October 7th attack happen a little bit because he was in a bunch of hot water and possibly facing prison due to corruption charges.
You know what? I forgot about that little chestnut.
Yeah. And then there was also, it was a lot like our 9/11 where we definitely knew about it, and not enough was done to stop it. And was that incompetence? Most likely. But was there something sinister behind it? I don't know. Dick Cheney and his buddies made a fuckload of money directly afterwards. So it's
see, Rob, if Rob's listening, this is how you respond to conspiracy theories you don't think are right. Matt, I don't think that's right, but you know what? I wouldn't be shocked if that was true.
See, that's what I'm saying too.
That's all you gotta say, Rob. If you put that one thing in there, we wouldn't have 50 text messages.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so regardless, like there was also reporting that they didn't have enough border security on the Gaza wall because they were too busy like making new settlements in the West Bank, which is supposedly illegal.
Shit.
And
Fuck
so
that.
you're just like, I mean, but if you get rid of Netanyahu, the people that he had to pal around with to create a coalition government are far more hawkish and right wing and like fuck the Muslims than Netanyahu is. So you're like, I don't know. It's kind of he might be a son of a bitch, but he's our son of a bitch type of deal.
What was it? I'm going with I know he's a douchebag, but he's on our team.
On my team. Yeah. But yeah, now they're like, I don't know what their plan is in Lebanon, but it looks big. They did you hear the details when they took out that the leader of Hezbollah?
haven't they taken like 4 or 5 down from the first guy?
Oh yeah, but the first original guy, when these airstrikes first started, like the heavy airstrikes that just started, they used 80 2,000-pound bombs to just like one after the other to get down to his bunker. Like they used 16,000 cumulative amount of 16,000 pound. No. 160,000 pounds of bombs to get this one dude.
Wait, how many bombs? Was it 2 you said?
80 single bombs. They were all
80.
And they were all 2,000-pound bunker busters.
2,000. Sorry. Holy shit.
Yeah. So 160,000 pounds worth of bombs dropped like in succession, like timed so that they would for maximum penetration and to get the one dude. And they still, it sounds like he choked to death from all the smoke and stuff. Like they still weren't able to like actually blow him up.
Isn't that amazing though, that in a country like that, somehow without like even our technology or the ability to build structures like we can, they could still somehow, like, how fucking deep are they?
I don't know. Like I want to say like 300-400 feet or some shit like that.
Where's Rob when you need him? Our tunnel expert.
Like, well, yeah, we need our tunnel expert on this one. It's part of it is impressive, like the amount of weaponry and whatnot. But then if you look at like the Houthis, they're just bleeding us dry, like one or two drones at a time. We'll spend a couple $100 million to shoot down like a total of $10,000 worth of armaments.
Why don't you just put up anti-aircraft
just
guns.
flat guns?
Yeah. Like, I'm sure way cheaper.
Just put them on the street. Like you just got to put a quarter in, and you're like, you get to shoot the flat gun.
All right, Isaac, it's your turn to shoot down the drone.
All right, come here, Shlomo. Give it a shot.
Well, good thing Rob doesn't live in Israel, because after watching Rob shoot, he wouldn't be shooting anything down.
So, yeah, no shit. What is your, like, what's the feeling you get around the Denver area, how this election's gonna go? You have any fucking clue?
You know, it's tough because I work in an office of shocking a lot of liberals. All of them, by the way, all of them very nice. All of them are aware that I worked on conservative Republican campaigns and back in the day. They know me. But I don't get a good sense because I'm around that, you know. But it's hard to tell. And Denver too, man. Denver is blue, man. It's so
real
blue. It's like, and it's crazy because I remember everybody poo-pooed the argument like, oh, all these people moving from California and all these blue states are going to turn us blue and it's going to turn us shithole. And like, no. Like Denver or Colorado was, some ranking had us like one of the highest crime rates. There was another list of like Denver's like one of the most miserable places to drive in traffic.
Yeah.
So it's so blue. I don't have a good sense. I don't know, man.
Yeah, Colorado will definitely go blue.
Yeah.
I don't think the Democrats realize how big of an issue this immigration nonsense is. Like, and and speaking of conspiracies, we haven't had an episode since this happened, but Eric Adams is getting investigated again.
I was waiting for you to bring that up. I was like, as soon as he got popped, I was like, oh, that's Tim Foyle's a curling.
Well, it's funny because I 100% believe he is corrupt. Like that, there's no doubt in my mind. He's a New York City mayor.
But he's been corrupt for a long time, and the
Right.
timing's suspicious.
Yeah, the timing is very suspicious, and the amount of corruption in and around New York City is astounding. But what they go after is this guy who's been popping off about how we can't afford these damn migrants in our city. A sanctuary city nonetheless. Yet that you're supposed to be able to take care of them. I thought you're a sanctuary. But then the other one is Donald Trump, where they changed the law just to get him. They had the attorney general and the district attorney both running on the promise that they were going to get Donald Trump.
Apparently in the Adam Schiff debate with his opponent, he started and finished it on Trump. It was nothing but Trump. Like, how long can you run on that?
I don't know, because let's say they get this numbskull elected, this just cackling brown version of Hillary Clinton, which honestly, no, it's a slight to Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is an accomplished political operative. She is a god awful, horrible human being. But Hillary Clinton is not stupid. This woman, I think, is truly stupid. And I don't.
Is it drunk? Do you think she's? Even when I watch some of the clips, I'm always thinking like, is she drunk?
Let's watch some more of them, because she's been on like a little media tour here lately. Kamala.
God, how is this our choices, Matt?
So let's say they do manage to squeak this bitch in there. So what happens when they don't have Trump to run against? Like, then what? Then what's your goals there?
It was like that Instagram post I saw that it was like Bush, Clinton, Obama, and then Biden and Harris. Like, they've been running the government for almost 30 years now, and they keep on saying like change and all this other shit. I'm like,
it's wild.
Get to what Priscilla was talking about, in that one of the questions that Kamala Harris was asked was about how she differentiates herself. Is there any daylight effectively between what she would do and what the Biden-Harris administration did? Let's watch part of the answer.
We're obviously two different people, and we have a lot of shared life experiences. For example, the way we feel about our family and our parents and so on. But we're also different people, and I will bring those sensibilities to how I lead.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Molly, what do you make of that?
I'm surprised, frankly, that she doesn't have more to say about this, given that she and her campaign know that this is one of the main questions that voters have about her. And one of the main things she's been trying to establish as part of her candidacy is the idea that she would represent.
She looks like a senior political correspondent for Wall Street Journal.
The slight gray.
Talk about an unenthusiastic hand job there.
A break from the past 4 years, and to not be able to come up with something.
Oh, hold on. Who's more unenthusiastic, her or the Wall Street Journal? I'm going with her.
I'm definitely going with she like the other one kind of has a deep kind of chest line going on. This one's straight up Amish.
This one she's like Angela from The Office.
Yeah. Yeah. She's got a beat farmer boyfriend.
Yeah, she looks like she could be hot if she spruced it up a little bit. Probably gets some dick thrown at her quite a bit, like whether she wants it or not. So I'm guessing very unenthusiastic in the hand job.
Able to come up with something.
She looks like if a guy, opens the door for her she automatically yells in the man's face, "I have a boyfriend." You know,
Yeah.
she's not good at picking up signals of what's actually going on.
Right. I think she'd probably be a little more into the HJ though. She looks like she'd be a little more into it.
Yeah.
To say in that moment, she continues to not be particularly nimble on her feet in a lot of these interviews. And this is a very obvious question that gave her an opportunity, frankly, to differentiate herself in a way that would have made news, that would have answered, I think, the curiosity of a lot of voters who want to know how she would lead differently. And she's not very specific in laying that out. And she can't point to a decision she would have made differently, which, in an electorate that thinks that doesn't like the way this administration has led and that doesn't like the track that the country is on, that may not be a very satisfactory answer.
I mean, it's a delicate dance because it's not as if she's coming in. It's not as if she just fell out of a coconut tree.
CNN just apologizes for her, even when all the correspondents like, no, she messed up here.
Yeah,
they all just immediately go into defense mode. Oh, it's a delicate situation. You have no policy.
It is a female version of Rob right there.
What's her name? We'll start calling her.
I think it's Dana Bash, isn't it?
Oh, Robbie Bash.
Robbie Bash.
Out of a coconut tree. She's been part of this administration as the vice president for 4 years now. She did later talk about the fact that she would put a Republican in her cabinet, which she first told me over the summer.
Candidate, but
so
from
putting a Republican in your cabinet is a policy.
Yeah,
fuck, man. It's just like holy fuck, man.
Let's see, because there was another one.
Oh, Pete, you should play some Peter Ducey. I heard he was getting into it with Pretty Skin.
Oh, nice. Well, let's
listening.
Well, Bill,
but it seems.
Oh, here we go.
Very much prompted by, or well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region. Well,
holy
Bill,
fuck, man. Jesus H. Literally said nothing.
Yeah. So, and then they edited the answer.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
But it seems that
that was the edit. Holy
like
shit. You need to send that to Rob. You guys send that to Rob. I send it to him tomorrow because, like, I hope he just doesn't say anything. Just don't defend that, Rob. Don't defend that.
I just, if it's not clear to people, like she's not going to be actually running shit, she's just a little, I wouldn't even call her a puppet because you don't even have to move her mouth. She'll just talk ceaselessly about hopes and unburdening and movements. And
so we all know Tim Walz is not a Dick Cheney. So if it happens, who's the Dick Cheney in this situation? Obama?
Obama, I guess.
Is Obama
Pelosi?
Is Obama kind of like what was what was the advisor that Obama had? And she never had a real title, but she was advisor. Oh God, I could see her face.
I don't know, but there's. I don't know who's actually running shit. That's like Obama is involved for sure, but I don't know. Like, what the fuck have these people been doing for 4 years? Like they pass a bunch of stupid shit. The one thing they got passed really was, well, everything they got passed was awful. They passed the essentially the Green New Deal under a different name.
Valerie Jarrett.
Valerie Jarrett.
Because she never had. It was weird. She's just always around.
That's the chick that Roseanne got canceled for.
Why?
Roseanne sent out a tweet saying that Valerie Jarrett looks like a cross between Planet of the Apes and the Muslim Brotherhood.
That's right. I forgot.
And turns out Valerie Jarrett's black. I didn't know that. Apparently Roseanne didn't know that, so it came off as a racist.
She didn't.
No, like they had
for that one.
There was a leaked phone call. She was talking to her son or something, and she's like, "I thought the bitch was white." Yeah, Valerie Jarrett. That good pull. Good pull.
I mean, like, who's the Valerie? It's I guess Obama's become the Valerie Jarrett, right?
I guess so. Maybe Roseanne was onto something, you know. Maybe she knew some shit. She's they pushed her out of her own TV show. You remember
and then
that?
They kept it running. Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's still on the Connors now.
Like they did her so dirty.
Well, hey, she's all right now. She's she's as big as the My Pillow guy on Fox now. It's cool.
Oh yeah, she's for one. I won't say half of America because like the diehard Trump is not half of America, and the diehard hate Trump is not half of America either. But
no,
we'll say like a solid 20% in each side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Roseanne's a rock star among the hardcore Trump people now. And Roseanne is legitimately really funny, so it's not a surprise to see that she's making a resurgence. She'll be big again, I'm sure. But this, God damn it, we got so sensitive there for a while, didn't we? Like everybody's just real sensitive.
Oh,
I never was, but
the when another whatever Instagram post was like, who basically said who on their bingo card had Roseanne looking better than Madonna at this age.
No shit. I was never like a big Madonna fan because she was before our time, and like she was okay. I put her and J-Lo in that same category. I'm like, yeah, they're attractive enough, but I don't get the hotness of either of those two.
I tell you though, as a 6 or 7 year old boy watching Dick Tracy and Madonna and her tatas come out on stage, it was like Cameron Diaz in the Cameron Diaz in The Mask was a totally different hot. Totally different.
I remember let's see, growing up like Dukes of Hazzard, Daisy Dukes.
Mm-hmm.
She I don't remember who the Madonna never was though. Shania Twain was always really hot. She liked to show her belly button all the time, so.
And then the movie that absolutely opened Pandora's box. Wild Things.
Wild. That was that's a good one. Yeah. was that Nev Campbell and
Denise Richards.
Yeah, Denise Richards. Holy shit.
And you know what? You don't get to see Nev Campbell's boobs, which is definitely a bummer. But the rest of it, Pandora has been opened.
Yeah. It's a beautiful and Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah,
right. The diving board. Yep. That those. I forget who I was talking to about that, but we went back and looked, and those titties still hold up, man. They're pristine.
Primo.
Pristine. Yeah, there's like, do they try to take another shot at Trump again before the election?
I don't know, dude. I mean, they can't, right? I mean, 3 times. I feel like this point, every other incident with him just knocks the Democrats down.
Yeah.
So they're just going to take every precaution to keep this fucker alive. You know?
Did you see some of the shit about that second, like the one that didn't get a shot off, but
at the golf course?
Yeah.
No.
All right. Like I sent I sent a text to my buddy that was Green Beret, and I was like, is this guy agency? No way this guy's fucking agency. Because if he is, their standards have gone to shit.
I mean, again, would you be surprised?
Yes and no. Like, yes and no. I'd be not surprised, but definitely shocked at how far they had fallen. Like that. The more I looked into that whole thing, I was like, and then his son got arrested for kiddie porn a couple days later too.
Yeah. What did your buddy say about it?
He didn't know, but I was like, he was up in the mountains too, so he just like, they tried to take him out again. Holy shit, I hadn't heard. So it was a couple days later, and so I don't know, man. There's and then you had how about the the party that's so worried about foreign interference in our elections,
and then
pays my money and your money. They pay to bring the leader of a foreign country over and do a campaign ad and sign a bunch of bombs and tell you to vote for Kamala Harris.
And then to smooth it over, do a totally just PR meeting with Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see like that? Those two are not friendly with each other.
No,
they were just stiff.
I stand by my statement. Like that dude will not be the the leader of Ukraine when all this shakes out. He's either going to get got by his own people, Putin's going to get him, or he's going to end up in exile somewhere. They're like, that dude
Palm
is
Beach.
Yeah, Palm Beach. Wherever he'll be shacking up with like Adam Kinzinger and Lindsey Graham, just taking up residence in South Carolina. I mean, that dude is he's essentially berating the president of the United States for not giving him enough weapons. And then he parades around in military dress, but he has never served in the military at all. And his wife apparently has gotten fabulously wealthy during this time period. And in the meantime, you've lost, we'll just call it a cool 500,000 of your men over 2 years. And you've lost 4 provinces and they keep making gains day after day after day. Like, he's not going to be popular in his own country here before too long.
I wish the president would just tell him, whose dick is getting sucked here? How dare you speak to me like that?
For real. Like when he showed up in his fucking, olive drab t-shirt to address Congress, motherfucker, put a suit and tie on. Have some goddamn respect. You're the leader of a country in this world. Fucking act like it. God damn, dude. I just, that guy has rubbed me wrong for a long time, but now they're clearly losing, and we're just wasting money at this point. And they're like, oh, we're degrading the Russian military. But no, we're helping thousands of people get slaughtered every single day for no material interest for the United States. And it's fucking retarded.
Oh, sorry. I'm just looking through our text. Usually have some good ones. It's really fucking stupid. And then that guy just like constant, like, we need more money. We need bombs. We need planes. And now we want to use your bombs to strike way into Russia. Like, no, we can't do that because Russia's got nukes. And if we go toe to toe with Russia, I don't know that there ever is a winner in that scenario. I think through all this stuff, the thing that just keeps me going is, thank goodness we have Trudeau to the north and Mexico, who won't touch us because we're their biggest clientele.
Right.
And 2 oceans on each side.
I know it. and an armed populace. Like,
right.
Thank God. And if we do end up, I do like have this sick fascination with wargaming, what World War III without nukes would look like, because the weapons just shy of nukes are bad enough. Like, we can really fuck some shit up, like real bad. I mean, look at the Israelis with the pagers. Just like,
fuck,
that is horrifying.
No,
and awesome at the same time.
The true question is, was that a Israel idea or was that a United States idea?
I'm not saying this to be anti-Semitic. I'm saying it's the shifty Jews, because they are living up to their stereotype of being shifty, and that is a very shifty move. It was
what percentage are you?
0.07 or no 0.7. 0.7. I think.
Oh, okay. If it was in the 0.0 category, but 0.7.
I'm more Jew than Princess Paleface is Native American. What's her name? Lizzie Paleface, Elizabeth Warren.
Did Rob ever take that test?
I think so.
I would love to see Rob's.
It comes back as a Star of David.
No, you know what would come up? It'd just be like, you are 100% white. Huh.
Huh. It just shows a bratwurst. Just like you are Chicago.
What kind of white? Just white in general.
Just I don't know, the average white, you know,
white.
Just the regular old white. That'd be a great name for a comedy album, is Regular Old White.
That's the name of the episode, Regular Old White.
Regular Old White. Well, let's see. Philly moved on. I mean, Philly got bounced. Mets moved on. Any predictions?
Talk amongst yourself. I am currently shaking the lizard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did not have the Mets moving on when I made my postseason prediction, and or not past the division. So that it's and then Dodgers bounced back big tonight. So we're gonna have a game 5 in LA. I'm not so confident on the Padres now.
Dude, I hope the Tigers. I don't expect them to go far, but they're playing with house money right now. They're a rebuild, and to get a playoff go in like not a rebuild, but they're kind of in that transition period. They bought a couple of contracts for like a year.
They are
just to see what happens.
They are the Grapes of Wrath franchise right now. Like they're getting to California somehow
to get some internet.
Yeah, to get them some internet. But just small ball. It was a 3-run shot and 7 shutout innings from Skubal that won it for him the other day. And then they just death by 1,000 cuts with Detroit. They don't really hit the long ball much. They just singles, doubles, good defense, good pitching.
And I'm really bummed because that number 1 prospect, Twerk, from a couple years ago, just not doing a damn thing.
Yeah,
he might be a big bust, which is crazy because he was the best player in fucking college.
Do you see that the Indian kid that came up with I think he was on Vanderbilt?
Jake pitches now?
Yeah. No, I wish. How funny would that? Jake's way too short to be an effective pitcher.
Billy Wagner.
True.
I don't think Jake throws 99 though.
No, Jake strikes me more of a catcher. Like he just
one way.
I wasn't even thinking about it in the gay way. I just he's I could see Jake pulling the mask off and maybe hitting 240 for the year, but he's got 25 home runs.
Well, who was that fiery Hispanic catcher for the Padres? Santiago. I pictured Jake just going off on some dudes, somebody looks at a home run ball too long, tells him to get the fuck on. I can see Jake doing that shit.
Well, Jake's kind of got the same vibe as Salvador Perez, just kind of laid back.
Yeah.
And and he's a stocky guy, just he just screams catcher.
That could also be the name of the podcast. Just screams catcher.
He screams catcher.
What was it?
Regular old white.
We need to meld them together.
Yeah.
Regular old white screaming catcher.
I'll make a twangy country song about regular old whites. I'm creating that right now.
Okay.
And I'll have it queued up for for when we're when we close it out. A twangy upbeat song about regular old whites.
I can't wait.
I think we should go in blind. We'll go with because it'll create two versions, and so I'm just getting the first version, and we'll go in blind.
Okay.
I was gonna ask you something else foreign policy related, but I don't remember what it was.
One scary thing I saw today was seems like every week I see Russia and China just doing joint operations in places they tend to never do that.
Yeah. It seems like seems like it could be an issue. There, I forget what. Oh yeah, so like Haiti is a complete, like, that's a failed state at this point. You know, you remember how quick they were to call Libya a failed state, but they still act like Haiti's a functioning country, but like it hasn't been for a long time.
Has it ever? I mean, I'm not surprised, but I've read articles that it's Haiti and Dominican Republic or not.
Yeah.
Apparently there's just a giant wall. They Gaza the shit out of them. Basically, like nobody gets through.
Oh, and Dominicans are on a like a mass deportation campaign of Haitians currently. Yeah, like they're and yeah, so like the city Port-au-Prince, so that's where my brother Dexter was from.
Yeah.
That's where like all the main violence is, but that's like the main, it's the capital city, the main economic driver of Haiti. But like when all that shit was, I mean, it's still going down, but like when the violence first popped off, like the main guy that kind of was, he wasn't really in charge, but like he was the toughest warlord of the city, was a dude that barbecued his fucking enemies and ate them. And now we're acting like a story about Haitians eating cats is too outlandish to even think of. You're like, have you paid attention to Haiti?
Wasn't he like a former policeman?
Something like that.
A lot of these guys are like former policemen. They're like, fuck this, I'm gonna go.
I mean, if you look at the cartel ranks, like most of their guys are former military or police.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, like, so if we were gonna be mobilizing troops anywhere, like southern border is my first, like that's the first area of attention. Like we've got a heavily armed narco state right below us, and we're at war with, let's say, half the world at this point, and we just let anybody through the southern border like that. That seems smart. Seems smart.
I'm not worried.
Not worried at all. Like I keep hearing these reports of like how many people from the terrorist watch list that we know are in the country, and you're like, chances are it's not going to affect me directly because I live out in the middle of nowhere. But that seems like a problem, like waiting to happen.
Oh, speaking of, again, you fucked me up, Matt. As soon as I heard the story, I was like, are we sure? It's pretty close to election. Are we sure? They said they foiled a terrorist plot about they're doing an attack on election day. And of course, my bat brain kicks in. I'm like, odd timing.
Yeah.
Odd timing.
Well, and then there's the there's the classic "the Jews control the weather" conspiracy that's come back up after this hurricane.
I mean, everything crazy that goes on, I feel like it just feels it.
I know it's just wait 3 comments down on just about any hot topic on the internet, and the Jews will come up eventually. They always do.
You know what I'm picturing? You know those old memes like "Thanks, Obama."
Mm.
You can apply the same guy fumbling chips.
Yeah, thanks, Shlomo.
Yeah.
That could also be the name of the episode. That one probably would get deranked quite a bit, so I'm gonna hold off on that. But no, it is kind of crazy, and I can see where the conspiracy mind would go on that hurricane thing, because we do know that they've tried to control the weather, and success is a different, like that's a subjective term when it comes to the weather. Like, did they have an effect? Yes, they did. Was it anything close to what they thought it would be? No. And in fact, it was like catastrophic.
Yeah, didn't they? I can't remember, in a Middle Eastern city, like maybe Dubai or something like that.
Yeah.
Didn't they seed the shit out of it, and then they had just like terrible flooding?
Yes, and way before that, they did dump like 80 pounds of dry ice into the eye of a hurricane off the eastern seaboard, and it took like a hard north turn after that. Like they don't know if it was the if it was the dry ice that did it or if it did it on its own, but just the fact that they tried it, and something really crazy and kind of like this hurricane in North Carolina, where a part of the state that doesn't usually get affected that much got fucking hammered, and like literal entire towns just wiped off the fucking map.
Wait, hold on. Clarifying question. You said 80 pounds?
I something like that. I don't remember exactly.
80 pounds.
Yeah, you would think that would have not much of any effect, but I don't know. I don't know. But I do know that we've been trying that shit for a long time to mixed effect. Like I said, we do know that we can have some effect on it. As far as controlling, no. I don't buy anybody that says they can control Mother Nature is trying to sell you oceanfront property in Arizona, my friend. That
dude, I am having a real hard time with 80 pounds. That's all it fucking took.
Well,
80 pounds.
I can see you're getting hung up on that number, and I'm not at all.
Okay.
I'm not at all sure on the accuracy of that number, but
like this number this building has to be at least 3 times bigger than this. You're right. I'm fucking.
But I will say it was a seemingly insignificant amount compared to a fucking hurricane, you know.
I feel like, why is ISIS dicking around with trying to infiltrate us? Just find a plane that'll go that high, buy some dry ice, and just start dropping it over hurricanes.
Even better, and I'm not trying to invite terrorist attacks on us,
no.
Just find some crackpot scientist guy that you know is like some backyard scientist. You know, because like a lot of those physicists, like the aliens dude, the guy that worked at Area 51 and Los Alamos. I mean, he made a jet engine Corvette just because he wanted to. You know, it's like your dad. Your dad would do some shit like that just because, you know, he's like, oh, I like the physics of it.
It doesn't matter how smart my dad is. There's no way he would come to the conclusion that 80 pounds of dry ice. It's like, this is gonna bug me. I'm gonna have to research it tomorrow. 80 pounds.
I'll see if I can't remember where I heard that on a podcast, dude. And I'll do some research and send you some links. But
please do. You fucking broke me, dude. You fucking broke me.
So the moral of the story I was getting at is the path that the hurricane took hit a very rural, very conservative part of North Carolina that typically doesn't get affected by hurricanes. And the FEMA response has been literally almost non-existent to this point. And, you know, we're 30 days out from election. You know, like, is it a coincidence? I don't know. Seems like a lot of coincidental factors in a row. And
question.
But at the same time, I don't have the hubris to believe that we can literally control the weather like that.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
If they dropped 160 pounds on it, would it have just gone backwards?
It
Like,
would
you
have created a
turned
black
left.
hole. It would have created a black hole.
It would have Sharknado.
Sharknado. Sharknado would have happened.
I mean, if you dump 360 pounds, it just go in a circle and then come
You
right
are
back.
playing with fire, my friend. You are playing with fire.
Mind fucking blown.
But yeah, there's a lot of evidence out there that we've been trying that shit for a while, and like longer than you might think. Like there was something back in the 1880s where they just shot a bunch of shit into a cloud system.
40 pounds of dry ice.
I don't think they had the dry ice technology at the time,
God.
so it was just regular old cast iron and lead, you know.
They just start shooting their muskets.
Yeah. I'll have to find that podcast I was listening to, but it was yeah, and of course it was in Texas, because why wouldn't it be? You know,
Why wouldn't it be?
Why wouldn't it be?
Texas is big enough.
It's definitely big enough to do that. It just you know, like then you hear they're like thinking of ways to partially block out the sun to control climate change. You're like, can we not? Can we not? All of your models say that, you know, in the worst case scenario, we've still got a couple hundred years of being just okay. You know, we'll be. Let's not take a chance on this block out the sun technology.
It's just
you know.
It's straight up like fucking The Simpsons, Hank Scorpio, when
Mhm.
they did. He was his boss, and he turns out to be a Bond villain.
Yeah, it just like let's not do that, because if it turns out really bad, it'll have the opposite effect of what you're trying to do, which is save people, right? Like it seems like that, sir, is a terrible idea, and I don't care how smart you are. Blocking out our light source seems like a bad plan.
I mean, on top of bad plan, did you see that text I sent you about the AI hosts coming to realization that they're AI?
Kill it with
and
fire.
Oh man, I was like, that popped. Your voice popped in my head. Kill it with fire.
It's I'm not naive enough to say like there's not some really cool shit that could come of it, but also it's like, should we maybe we should just do the work on our own. You know, like we'll get there eventually. Maybe take the scenic route. Yeah.
So the boys, Mimi likes to spoil them, and they went to Chuck E. Cheese like 5 or 6 times this summer. And there's a Terminator 2 game that they fucking love. It's a shooting
Nice.
game. And every time they bring it up, like, I just think of this like, oh, they think this is fun. And it's almost like you wish you didn't know what you know. It's like, yeah, it's super fun, kids. Yeah, we could watch that sometime. Fucking A.
Oh, so like when we visited my dad this summer, he gave Gus a little 22 that my dad had bought when he was in high school still, I think. It's a little Remington semi-automatic, pretty cool little gun. And Gus was, of course, he was fucking stoked. And it's, you know, it's semi-auto, so you can every trigger pulls it shoots, and he just loves it. Just shoot as fast as he can. Just pop, 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 pop. And he's not a bad shot already. But I was like, whoa, his grandpa, like not my dad, but my father-in-law is a gun dude. Like he went to gunsmithing school. He is a gun dude. Guns are an expensive hobby.
Yes, they are.
They are an expensive hobby. And then we had our little town. We had our little fun days. So they have like a little kids rodeo, and then tractor pull and trap shoot, and then they vending booths and whatnot. And so the kids rodeo, they had a dummy roping contest, and I hadn't really done anything with the kids on roping yet. But Gus wanted to interrupt, so I was trying to learn him the basics before he went in, and that kid was locked in for a couple of hours on roping. So I'm just like, fuck. Horses are an expensive hobby as well, and now this kid seems like he wants to rope. I'm not going to discourage it, but man, I'm gonna have to hustle to afford these hobbies coming up.
You know what? My coworker, Mr. Vic, I talk about all the time, the cool black dude sequel writer. He said it best, man, when he's like work dad. But he said it best. He's like, I was like, what's one thing that shocked you? He's like, what's shocking is how much they watch you. And you don't realize the little ticks you have until you have, especially like boys. Holy fuck, man. Like today, fucking Emmett, I guess he was class clown today, and he was doing the Urkel pants. Like straight up to, camel toed out. My wife looks at me, she's like, who does that remind you of? I was like, fuck.
I know. Well, and I've got my kid's brain works exactly like mine, so I can remember myself at his age where everything was very literal, very literal.
Wait, has that changed?
Well, I've developed a sense of humor around it.
That's right.
But yeah, so
almost 80 pounds worth of dry ice.
Yeah, almost. Mm-hmm. I mean, you gotta account for some dissipation and whatnot. See, I mean, and my kid's the same way, and except he wouldn't have had any humor slant to it. He'd just be like, and the dry ice is going to dissipate to some extent, so you're not going to have a true 80 pounds.
They put 85 in there just to even it out.
Well, and my wife is like, why are you always correcting me? I was like, why are you always wrong?
Oh, fuck, I love it. Oh, fuck. Oh.
But
Matt, I'm faded, buddy.
All right, let's I got the song queued up. Let's see. Regular Old Whites. Loading.
Load.
Let's try that again. Regular Old Whites.
Got my jeans and my boots looking real fine. And down at the diner where we spend our time. Breakfast special ain't fancy, but it's right. Just regular folks, we're the regular old whites. Picking the guitars on a Friday night. Fishtailing dirt roads, no wind in sight.
I mean, it sounds like any Nashville radio country song. Like, it's got the same just lame hooks.
What's amazing and terrifying is how far this app has come, even in the 6 months we've been playing with it.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Fixing up our trucks with an open hood. The other one? Got stories to tell, they're misunderstood.
I like this one better already.
I can picture Brad
Got
playing
my
that.
jeans and my boots looking real fine. Down at the diner where we spend our time. Breakfast special ain't fancy, but it's right. Just regular folks, we're the regular old whites.
Regular old whites.
And on that note, this has been the Death of Fun. Go subscribe to us on YouTube and Instagram. We got an Instagram account. And then we got our own separate feed, so if you're listening on Burning Daylight, please continue to do so. But we do have a separate feed called the Death of Fun Podcast. So come check us out.
80 fucking pounds.
80 pounds. Not a gram more.
Got stories to tell them.
All right, buddy. Later, bud.
Gather around the fire when the moon is high, singing our hearts out to the night sky. Working 9 to 5's nothing new to us. Baking pies and mending clothes without a fuss. Raise a flag proud every 4th of July. Country air filled town sky. We don't even razzle or dazzle in our lives. Just coffee and some chatter with our old wives. Living easy, playing cards and shooting lights. Ordinary as gold. We're the regular old whites. Working 9 to 5's nothing new to us. Baking pies and mending clothes without a fuss. Raise a flag proud every 4th of July. Country air filling up a small town sky. We don't need no razzle or dazzle in our lives. Just coffee and some chatter with our old wives. Living easy, playing cards and shooting lights. Ordinary as gold. We're the regular old whites.